Hey Training Center, Mike here. My recommendations, my mic droppings for the week are a hard recommendation for the United States of Improv tournaments that are happening on Thursday nights all spring long. So far, Team New York and defending champions Team Ohio, or the Ohio, or whatever I'm supposed to say, have moved on. But if you would like to hear more about what's happening on those nights from the other perspective, you're going to want to check out my full interview with Team Alabama's Sebastian Posey right after this. But also I saw us on TV again.
Because you're only here to elucidate the forensic results, Pete.
Well, I'd like to elucidate that I'm being underutilized. I've been taking improv classes for over 10 years.
Really? That's amazing.
Yeah, if you ever want to come to a show.
Probably not.
Okay.
Which reminds me, there's a jam. Wednesday night, 7 o'clock. Your opportunity to take the stage. Just like that guy from Will Trent. Which reminds me that there's a jam coming up. Wednesday night, 7 o'clock. Which will be your opportunity to perhaps take the stage. Maybe for the first time. Which could be your opportunity to take the stage, like that guy from Will Trent. Which could be your opportunity to take the stage, like that guy from Will Trent. Sebastian, thank you so much for joining me here today.
Happy to be here.
You're a newsman yourself, so I'm going to speak to you in a language that you understand. This is a bit of a post-game press interview because just this past Thursday night, I believe that you for Team Alabama, do I have that right?
You do.
Team Alabama, but we do know that 3 teams entered and only one left the evening as a victor of the evening of improv. And unfortunately, that was not you?
No, it was not.
Okay, but that's okay because, of course, we are here in improv, Sebastian, and we are here to celebrate failure because there are no failures. There's only opportunities in improv. And I'm guessing that you had a wonderful time at this opportunity.
I did very much. I do want to say that I could take the easy route and say that we were all winners.
Yeah.
But frankly, we weren't.
Right. Technically, numerically speaking, we weren't.
Numerically speaking, we were not all winners. As a thing to do, I love it very much. It's a great way to meet people from my state to perform together and put on a second place performance.
Yes. Yeah. Hey, second's great. I mean, it's only out of 3, but but second is great. But I'm going to guess that this is the second or third year that you've competed in this. Fourth year. My goodness gracious, 4th year altogether. So something's keeping you coming back. I know that I keep coming back to the United States of Improv because of the energy in the room, for one thing, is some of my favorite improv of the year. How was the energy in the room Thursday night?
It's electric. It really is. There's something very fun, and Alabama has done this now a couple of years where we tend to be the first week. Shocker for an alphabetically first state. But there's a fun energy in that room because I do think it's not only the camaraderie of everyone, but there is like there's a fun competition element to it. Like this aspect of like you are kind of fighting for something, but you're also just getting to perform with people you don't normally get to perform with, and it's a true joy to continue to come in second place every
I think I've come in second place mostly as well. But to that end, like the slightly competitive aspect of it, but then also performing with strangers creates this really cool thing because you can be competitive towards the other teams, but you have to like double your level of open support when you're performing with like people who are kind of strangers. I mean, like some teams come together and they're not that tight, and some people are meeting for the first time. So you have to like figure out what your styles of play are in the moment. So you just have to be like so aggressively supportive.
Yeah, it's a lot of when you're in a troupe, you do get very used to tendencies and how people perform in certain scenes. And there is something really fun about like jumping on stage with somebody that you may have had one practice with,
Yeah.
and just hoping to God both of you could figure something out together. And pretty much, you do, because I think everyone there is very much there to be supportive anyway. And it's just such a fun, even as a state that like, we're out of it, that's not going to change the fact that I'm going to keep coming back each week, partially to scout. For upcoming years.
Absolutely.
But yeah, there's a lot of like energy. Yeah. And plus continue to work on my latest way of handling defeat, and that's denial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You keep going
mainly,
back, and you're like, and in your head, it's like, oh, we just haven't performed yet. You're still waiting for your team to perform.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And then as soon as like what ends up happening is that leads to what I feel is the more healthy point of where I just start believing there's a conspiracy. In fact, like I actually have like a little diagram here.
Oh, okay. We are. Okay.
Yeah. Crowd has been worked. Crowd work. So it all kind of points back to one name. And I think that
wow. Yeah.
he's out to get us.
So it might be hard to see with just his drawings. What we need to get next time, Sebastian, is some yarn. I think some yarn is going to help us really illustrate this a little bit. But the yarn there was leading back, if you couldn't see, to definitely a picture of Scott Elam. All the yarn leads back to Elam, for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
And more like instead of, hide your wallets, it's hide the truth. And yeah, it's fun to call out the score or whatnot.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's so fun. Like 20 minutes goes by so quickly.
So fast. So fast. It's just so fun. And I just remember last year there was this scene where for Team Kentucky and I was in a whiskey barrel, and I remember all this stuff happening around me. It was super chaotic. But I've thought about that scene constantly through this past year, just because I remember it being just so joyful and fun and chaotic in a moment, and there's some sort of magic happening in the United States of Improv and in that room. But last thing I wanted to ask you, Sebastian, is that you are experienced in improv far and wide, but you've come upon the Third Coast shores in the past 4 years or so, and you found it valuable to continue taking classes even though you are so extensively experienced in improv. What gives? Why are you still coming back to classes?
Because I always feel like in improv, you're always learning something new. It's not something where once you figure this out, like you're never going to learn anything else. Whether it be styles, whether it just be like finding performers that really bring something out of you. It always feels like, I never want to feel like improv feels like a chore, and it doesn't. And I think that constantly learning and constantly building on that knowledge and that comfort level of just, hey, what if we went this way with this? What if we went this way with this? And really finding ways to just entertain the audience. And to me, that's just like a very fun challenge and a very fun building experience. And I think Third Coast is a good example of in fact, actually, out of the United States of Improv, I have a secondary group that I'm in that was 4 people that were like the Team Alabama last year. Yeah. And we had so much fun performing that we have now created what we call War Tide. But it's been, that led to the 4 of us going, hey, this is really fun. We want to do this again. So we've done subsequent cage matches since, which we did win.
There we go.
Yeah.
Numerically and everything, not just in spirit. One last thing, you've been in a long running, an improv staple, an institution in the community. Madam Improv, I believe, is the name that it operates under.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a sticker right above my head.
I see.
Yeah. Always marketing. Always marketing.
ABM. Always big.
Always big. Yeah. We've technically only been Madam for 3 years, but that group has performed together for about 6. And, I think it's the same of like, it's very fun to find a group like that where, you're not just performing with like troupe mates, you're basically performing with, this is cheesy, but like friends, like people that you just enjoy being around and like making stupid bits together with. Now, do our friends that aren't improvisers always love being around us? No.
Yeah.
But
Through
something
time,
that,
all of my friends have just become improvisers because of a perceived annoyance by other people. At a certain point, I
right.
just took the clue that it's like maybe I should just have improvisers as friends.
Yeah. Otherwise, like no one's ever going to return your phone calls.
Yeah. Sebastian, thank you so much. And what is the squad that's getting ready to kick off on the pitch there?
Oh, it's Nottingham Forest.
Nottingham Forest. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Currently third on the table.
great.
Yeah.
Great. Well, you beat that because you were second on the table.
It's true.